Today, we gather in a heartfelt space to honor and remember those we've recently lost, along with others who touched countless lives through their journeys. On this October 9th, 2025, we pause to reflect on their contributions, celebrate their legacies, and hold their memories close with respect. We'll also bring you updates on WWE stars facing personal challenges that have deeply moved fans worldwide. Subscribe now and stay connected as we continue to keep their stories alive. Billy Graham, born Eldridge Wayne Coleman on June 7, 1943, in Phoenix, Arizona, was a professional wrestling icon whose larger-than-life persona helped redefine the sport. Before stepping into the ring, Graham made a name for himself as a bodybuilder, even training alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger. His striking physique and natural charisma made wrestling a perfect fit, and he debuted in 1969, quickly capturing attention. Adopting the ring name Superstar Billy Graham, a nod to the famous evangelist, he immediately stood out. With his bleached blonde hair, tie-dye outfits, and chiseled build, Graham broke the mold of the traditional wrestling look. But it wasn't just his appearance that turned heads. His promos, filled with rhymes, swagger, and bold braggadocio, were revolutionary. He wasn't just a wrestler. He was an entertainer who brought personality and showmanship to the forefront. In 1977, Graham reached the pinnacle of his career when he defeated Bruno Sammartino to win the WWE, then WWF, Heavyweight Championship. This was more than just a title win. It was a shift in wrestling history, as Graham became one of the first heels to hold the championship for an extended period. His reign, nearly 10 months long, solidified him as a top star, as he defended the title against numerous challengers with style and flair. Graham's influence extended far beyond his championship reign. Legends like Hulk Hogan, Jesse "The Body" Ventura, and Ric Flair drew inspiration from his flamboyant style, muscular physique, and promo techniques, proving that Graham's impact would echo for decades. Despite his success, Graham's career and life were marked by challenges. Years of injuries and the toll of anabolic steroids left him with serious health issues, including hip replacements and liver problems. Even so, he remained a respected voice in the wrestling world, sharing his experiences and opinions with honesty and humor. In 2004, WWE honored Graham's contributions by inducting him into the Hall of Fame. When he passed away on May 17, 2023, at 79, the wrestling world lost a true pioneer. Yet his legacy endures through the stars he inspired, the promos he perfected, and the unforgettable energy he brought to the ring. Superstar Billy Graham didn't just wrestle. He transformed how wrestlers lived and performed, leaving a lasting mark on the sport he loved. Bob Armstrong, born on October 3, 1939, was more than just a professional wrestler. He was a beloved figure whose charisma, passion, and dedication left a lasting mark on the sport. Beginning his wrestling journey in the 1960s, Armstrong competed in various regional promotions, quickly earning a reputation for his athleticism, hard-hitting style, and ability to connect with fans. His presence in the ring was magnetic, and audiences were drawn to both his skill and his genuine personality. Throughout his decades-long career, Armstrong captured the hearts of wrestling fans and held numerous championships, including the NWA Southern Heavyweight Championship and the NWA Tag Team Championship. He became a mainstay in legendary promotions such as the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, and World Championship Wrestling, WCW, where his memorable feuds with other wrestling greats showcased not only his toughness, but also his storytelling ability. Matches with Bob weren't just contests, they were experiences, blending drama, athleticism, and a personal touch that few could replicate. Off the mat, Armstrong was equally respected. He was a devoted family man, instilling a strong work ethic, love of the sport, and unwavering determination in his children, many of whom followed in his footsteps to become professional wrestlers themselves. Those who worked alongside him often spoke of his mentorship, describing him as a guiding force who nurtured young talent while maintaining humility and kindness throughout his own storied career. Armstrong's contributions to wrestling did not go unnoticed. He was inducted into multiple halls of fame, celebrating his enduring influence and the countless lives he touched through his craft. His legacy is reflected not only in his championship victories, but in the respect and admiration he earned from fans and peers alike. Sadly, Bob Armstrong passed away at the age of 80, leaving behind a rich legacy of dedication, talent, and passion for professional wrestling. Yet, even in his absence, the lessons he taught, the stories he told in the ring, and the energy he brought to every match continue to inspire wrestlers and fans around the world. Bob Armstrong will always be remembered as a wrestling icon, a loving father, and a true gentleman of the sport. Roddy Piper, born Roderick George Toombs on April 17, 1954, in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, remains one of the most unforgettable figures in professional wrestling. Known for his sharp wit, fiery personality, and magnetic presence on the microphone, Piper wasn't just a wrestler, he was an entertainer who could command a crowd without ever lifting a championship belt. Often hailed as one of the greatest heels in wrestling history, he had a rare ability to make audiences both love and hate him in equal measure. Piper's journey in wrestling began in the late 1960s, cutting his teeth in various regional promotions before eventually making a huge impact in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF. It was in the 1980s and 1990s that he truly became a household name. One of his most iconic contributions to wrestling was his interview segment, Piper's Pit. Here, Piper's quick tongue and fearless attitude created some of the most memorable moments in wrestling history, often igniting intense rivalries and fueling storylines that kept fans on the edge of their seats. His legendary feuds with stars like Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, particularly during the first WrestleMania, helped cement his status as a wrestling legend. In the ring, Piper was equally dynamic. He blended technical wrestling skills with hard-hitting brawls, creating matches that were unpredictable and thrilling. His ability to generate heat from the crowd made him a performer unlike any other, and his charisma elevated every match he participated in. Over the course of his career, he won several championships, including the prestigious WWF Intercontinental Championship, further showcasing his talent as both a competitor and a showman. Outside the squared circle, Piper proved he could shine on screen as well. He appeared in films like John Carpenter's They Live, along with various television roles, demonstrating a versatility that few wrestlers could match. Roddy Piper passed away at the age of 61, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire wrestlers and fans alike. He wasn't just a performer, he was a trailblazer whose bold personality and groundbreaking contributions helped shape professional wrestling into the spectacle it is today. For those who witnessed his career, Piper remains a larger-than-life figure, a true icon whose influence will never be forgotten. Scott Hall, born on October 20, 1958, in St. Petersburg, Florida, was a trailblazer in professional wrestling whose impact is still felt today. Known for his magnetic presence, smooth in-ring style, and the instantly recognizable catchphrase, "Hey yo," Hall became a fan favorite wherever he went. He first rose to prominence in the WWF as Razor Ramon, a Cuban-Italian tough guy whose swagger, charisma, and multiple Intercontinental Championship wins made him a standout star of the early 90s. Hall's ability to connect with audiences, both through his personality and his wrestling, set him apart from his peers. But Hall's influence extended far beyond his individual success. In 1996, alongside Kevin Nash, he co-founded the New World Order, NWO, in WCW, a faction that would forever change the wrestling landscape. The NWO's edgy, rebellious presence sparked the legendary Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWE, pushing both companies to innovate and captivate fans like never before. Hall's charisma and natural ability to command attention were central to the NWO's popularity, and his work helped redefine what it meant to be a wrestling star in the 90s. Yet, behind the larger-than-life persona was a man who faced serious personal battles. Hall struggled for years with substance abuse, and the pressures of life on the road only compounded his challenges. His struggles led to health issues, rehab stints, and turbulent periods in his career. Still, Hall's story was also one of redemption. With the support of close friends like Diamond Dallas Page, he fought to overcome his demons, inspiring many with his resilience and determination to reclaim his life. Scott Hall passed away on March 14, 2022, at the age of 63, due to complications from multiple heart attacks following hip surgery. His death left a profound void in the wrestling world, touching fans, colleagues, and his family, including his son, Cody Hall. Today, Hall is remembered not just for his in-ring achievements, but for the transformative role he played in wrestling history, his unforgettable charisma, and his inspiring journey of struggle, redemption, and enduring legacy. Sherry Martel, born Sherry Russell on February 8, 1958, was one of professional wrestling's most captivating and influential figures. Better known to fans as Sensational Sherry, she carved out a unique place in wrestling history as both a performer and a manager, leaving a legacy that continues to resonate long after her passing on June 15, 2007, at just 49 years old. Sherry began her journey in wrestling in the late 1970s, quickly earning a reputation for her charisma, theatrical flair, and sharp instinct for storytelling. Whether she was in the ring or at ringside, she had an unmistakable presence, blending glamour and intensity in a way that commanded attention. Her ability to elevate those around her became one of her trademarks, making her an invaluable asset to the wrestlers she managed. Perhaps her most iconic partnership was with Macho Man Randy Savage in WWE. Together, they created some of the era's most memorable moments, with Sherry's guidance and on-screen chemistry helping to shape Savage's larger-than-life persona. Beyond Savage, she managed other top talents like Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, adding layers of intrigue, drama, and excitement to their storylines. Her influence wasn't limited to WWE. She left her mark on World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, showing her versatility and ability to adapt to different wrestling styles and audiences. Off-screen, Sherry's life was a mix of triumphs and challenges. Her untimely death in 2007, caused by an overdose of prescription medications, was a tragic reminder of the pressures and struggles that often accompany life in the spotlight. Yet, despite the heartbreak, her contributions to wrestling remain undeniable. Sherry Martel was more than a manager or a performer. She was a trailblazer, a storyteller, and a magnetic presence whose work helped shape professional wrestling into the spectacle it is today. Her ability to elevate others, captivate audiences, and leave a lasting impact ensures that Sensational Sherry will always be remembered as one of wrestling's true legends. Becky Lynch, born Rebecca Quinn on January 30th, 1987, in Limerick, Ireland, grew up with a passion for athletics and a fascination with action films, both of which would later shape her professional wrestling persona. From a young age, she displayed a remarkable dedication to physical activity, blending natural athleticism with a competitive spirit that would drive her throughout her life. Her early years in Ireland were marked by a mixture of disciplined training and an innate curiosity about performance, as she absorbed the stories and personas of legendary wrestlers while pursuing sports like track and field. By the age of 15, Becky had already begun serious training in professional wrestling under the guidance of local Irish trainers, setting in motion a career that would later make her one of the most celebrated figures in the industry. These formative years were not without challenges, as she had to balance her training with school, social life, and the financial realities of pursuing a niche sport in a small European country. Nevertheless, her drive and determination pushed her to travel abroad, taking her first steps into the world of independent wrestling circuits in Europe, and eventually leading her to Japan and the United States, where she honed her craft, learned different styles, and developed the technical skills that would later define her in-ring work. This period of her life was as much about personal growth as it was about professional development, teaching her resilience, independence, and to adapt to new environments, all traits that would become hallmarks of her persona in WWE. The journey to WWE, Becky Lynch's path to WWE, was a gradual accumulation of experience and recognition earned through years of commitment and sacrifice. Before her 2013 debut in WWE's developmental system, NXT, she had built a reputation on the independent wrestling scene as a skilled, determined, and charismatic performer. This journey was physically demanding and mentally exhausting, often requiring Lynch to wrestle multiple times a week, travel long distances, and manage tight budgets while maintaining her training regimen. The sacrifices were considerable, particularly for a young athlete in a male-dominated sport, and they included financial strain, physical tolls, and occasional health concerns, such as injuries sustained during matches and the pressure of maintaining peak physical condition over extended periods. Yet, her perseverance paid off, as her unique combination of technical skill, character work, and charisma caught the attention of WWE scouts. Once in NXT, Lynch began to refine her persona, exploring ways to connect with audiences on a deeper emotional level, balancing her natural Irish charm with a tenacity that allowed her to stand out in a competitive environment. Her early days in WWE were a mixture of excitement and challenge, learning the ropes of television production, live audiences, and the corporate expectations of a global sports entertainment brand, all while managing personal finances and the pressures that come with entering such a high-profile organization. Becky Lynch's rise to prominence. Becky Lynch's rise to prominence in WWE was a testament to her resilience, creativity, and ability to connect with fans on a visceral level. Her breakthrough came in 2016 when she became the first-ever SmackDown Women's Champion, marking her as a trailblazer in the company and highlighting her talent as a performer capable of carrying a championship with dignity and intensity. This period was not without its own set of challenges. The physical demands of defending a title, coupled with the travel schedule of a WWE superstar, placed significant strain on her health and required careful management of injuries, sleep, and nutrition. Despite these pressures, Lynch continued to evolve her character, eventually transforming into The Man in 2018, a persona that captured the rebellious spirit, confidence, and strength that resonated with millions of fans worldwide. This transformation was not only a creative milestone, but also an emotional one, symbolizing her emergence as a voice for female empowerment in wrestling. Her popularity soared, culminating in her historic headline spot at WrestleMania 35 in 2019, where she competed in a triple threat match for both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships against Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair, a moment that solidified her status as one of the top stars in WWE history. During this period, she became a cultural icon, inspiring fans beyond the ring, though the pressures of fame, public scrutiny, and the demands of a grueling schedule undoubtedly posed ongoing challenges to her physical and mental well-being. Mainstream impact and legacy beyond the wrestling ring, Becky Lynch's influence expanded into mainstream culture, reflecting her status as a symbol of perseverance, independence, and empowerment. Her autobiography, Becky Lynch. The Man, Not Your Average Girl, achieved Sunday Times bestseller status, signaling her ability to inspire people through storytelling and personal experience. Her narrative emphasized resilience in the face of adversity, both professionally and personally, and offered insight into the sacrifices required to succeed at the highest level in a physically demanding sport. During this phase, Lynch's life exemplified the balance between professional ambition and personal fulfillment, as she navigated a world that demanded constant performance while managing the realities of financial planning, career longevity, and the physical toll of years of intense wrestling. Her story resonated because it combined the glamour and spectacle of professional wrestling with an authentic depiction of human struggle, including injuries, fatigue, and the financial pressures inherent in a profession where success often requires years of unpaid or low-paid effort before reaching the top tier of earnings and stability. The 2024 hiatus, health, family, and financial considerations. In the summer of 2024, Becky Lynch stepped away from WWE as her contract with the company expired, entering a hiatus that lasted nearly a year. While the reasons behind this break were widely speculated upon, it is likely that the decision encompassed a combination of personal, health, and professional considerations. During her time away, Lynch focused on family life, having married fellow WWE superstar Seth Rollins in 2021 and welcomed their first child later that same year. Balancing the responsibilities of motherhood with the high-intensity demands of WWE undoubtedly influenced her choice to step back, highlighting the complex realities that top athletes face when managing personal well-being alongside professional ambition. Additionally, hints of lingering physical strain from her wrestling career, such as past injuries and the long-term wear on her body from years of high-impact performance, may have factored into the timing of her hiatus. Financial considerations may have also played a role, as taking a break from a high-earning position requires careful planning to ensure stability for her family, especially with the demands of travel, medical expenses, and long-term career sustainability in a sport known for its unpredictable nature. Rumors and speculation surrounding her departure. Becky Lynch's absence from WWE sparked widespread speculation among fans, wrestling analysts, and insiders, with rumors ranging from creative dissatisfaction to contract disputes. While many of these discussions remain unverified, it is clear that her hiatus coincided with shifts in WWE's landscape, including the rise of new female stars such as Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Liv Morgan. Some insiders suggested that her role in major storylines had been reduced, or that she felt creatively stifled, which is a common issue for veteran wrestlers seeking both meaningful work and creative fulfillment. Behind-the-scenes dynamics in WWE are often complex, encompassing both corporate strategy and personal relationships, and navigating these realities can be challenging for top performers, balancing health, family, and career ambitions. Financial considerations, creative opportunities, and long-term career strategy all intersected during this period, making Lynch's decision to take a break a nuanced and deeply personal one, rather than a simple absence for entertainment purposes. Return to WWE in 2025. Challenges and opportunities. Becky Lynch's return to WWE in 2025 was met with excitement from fans, but also came with inherent challenges. The wrestling world had evolved during her absence, with new talent, rivalries, and storylines reshaping the women's division. For Lynch, reintegrating into this dynamic environment required careful navigation of both creative opportunities and internal company politics, particularly in ensuring that her return aligned with her personal and professional goals. While she remains one of WWE's most recognizable and respected performers, her hiatus created a temporary gap in her momentum, and re-establishing herself required not only in-ring excellence, but also strategic positioning within the evolving competitive landscape. Health management remained a priority, as returning to a physically demanding schedule after a break necessitates attention to recovery, conditioning, and injury prevention. Additionally, financial planning and career longevity continued to be factors, ensuring that her return would support both her family and her long-term ambitions in wrestling and related media ventures. Fans eagerly anticipated how her character would be integrated into current storylines, hoping for a balance of meaningful creative involvement, high-profile matches, and opportunities to mentor or collaborate with emerging talent. Personal life and balancing responsibilities. Throughout her career, Becky Lynch has been candid about the challenges of balancing personal life with professional wrestling, particularly after becoming a mother. Her marriage to Seth Rollins and the arrival of their daughter introduced new responsibilities that required careful scheduling, prioritization, and emotional energy. Wrestling is a demanding profession that involves extensive travel, physical exertion, and public exposure, all of which must be managed alongside family commitments. Lynch's approach has been one of transparency and thoughtful planning, emphasizing the importance of mental health, physical recovery, and quality family time. These considerations may have informed her decision to take a break in 2024, demonstrating that career decisions are rarely based solely on creative or financial factors, but often involve a holistic assessment of well-being, personal fulfillment, and long-term stability. The changing landscape of professional wrestling. Becky Lynch's career exists within the broader context of a rapidly evolving professional wrestling industry. WWE faces increased competition from promotions like AEW, NJPW, and other international organizations, challenging its traditional dominance and creating new opportunities and risks for talent. For performers like Lynch, this landscape offers the potential to explore creative reinvention, negotiate contracts more strategically, and engage with audiences in innovative ways. However, it also introduces uncertainties related to job security, storyline prominence, and financial planning, requiring wrestlers to be both agile and proactive in managing their careers. The evolving landscape underscores the complexity of professional wrestling as both an art form and a business, where success depends not only on in-ring skill, but also on strategic career management, health maintenance, and audience engagement. Legacy and influence. Becky Lynch's legacy is defined not only by her championship victories and headline moments, but also by her role in empowering female athletes and challenging traditional gender norms in professional wrestling. She has inspired a generation of women to pursue careers in sports and entertainment, demonstrating that success is achievable through talent, determination, and authenticity. Her public discussions about health, family, and career balance further humanize her story, offering fans insight into the realities behind the spectacle of wrestling. Financial stability, creative fulfillment, and health consciousness are all integral to her approach, highlighting the multifaceted considerations that define a modern wrestling career. As the man, she embodies resilience, independence, and perseverance, ensuring that her influence extends far beyond the ring and into the broader cultural conversation about women in sports and entertainment. Future prospects and continuing evolution. Looking ahead, Becky Lynch's return to WWE presents both opportunities and challenges. Reclaiming a top position in the women's division will require navigating evolving rivalries, re-establishing storylines, and maintaining peak physical condition, while also balancing family commitments and long-term career planning. Her hiatus has allowed for reflection, recovery, and strategic consideration of her next steps, ensuring that her future endeavors are aligned with her personal values and professional aspirations. Whether through in-ring performance, mentorship of younger talent, media projects, or public advocacy for women in sports, Lynch's trajectory demonstrates that professional wrestling is as much about personal growth and resilience as it is about championships and accolades. The combination of her talent, experience, and cultural resonance ensures that she will continue to be a pivotal figure in WWE and an inspiration to fans worldwide, even as the industry evolves around her. Concluding thoughts. Becky Lynch's story is one of resilience, determination, and balance. From her early days in Limerick, navigating financial constraints and training challenges, to her meteoric rise in WWE, transformation into the man, and eventual hiatus to prioritize family and health, her journey illustrates the complexities faced by modern athletes. Her return in 2025 comes at a time of both opportunity and uncertainty, as she must navigate a changing WWE landscape, emerging talent, and personal priorities. Throughout, Lynch has remained a symbol of empowerment, perseverance, and authenticity, balancing the physical, emotional, and financial demands of a high-profile wrestling career. Her legacy extends beyond championships and headline matches, inspiring fans to embrace resilience, self-belief, and the pursuit of personal and professional fulfillment in the face of challenges. With her talent, experience, and unwavering determination, Becky Lynch continues to write her story, proving that even in a competitive, evolving, and demanding industry, authenticity and passion remain the most enduring forms of success.